frustration about it. And yeah, Sean's up, but that's the point about the Western Rivers Action Network. If it's about rivers and water, that's why they're doing this. And that's why, today you've heard from people who know a lot about it, who are actively engaged in specific battles in their area, and because there's this need to pull the information in and push it out. And I'll give Sean just a sec. Sorry, Sean.
Oh, no, please do.
Came up earlier. That's the point.
No, this is why we love advocacy organizations.
So the structure, much like your own structure, Audubon structure is similar. We have the local chapters, we have the state office here in this building, and then in DC, I work in the policy office, so I'm very close to the actual members of Congress there in DC. We track all this, we get roll call and then roll, and we're on comments every day and all that stuff. So if you ever have a question, by all means, email me, call me, let me know. Especially if it's about one of Audubon's priorities. If you ever want to know, hey, is this bill going anywhere? Is it going to actually come up before the committee, blah, blah, blah. Chances are good we know that stuff. So by all means, please do this.
I want to give a specific example. This week we learned of a bill that would end the president's authority to designate national monuments in the state of Arizona. And this is a bill that one of our delegation is proposing. And that's a bill that deserves some consideration, especially by people who care about national monuments. So I emailed Sean and Sean's colleague Ryan Moore, and they were able to give me a very thorough breakdown of the chances of this bill passing. And because they were able to give me this information that I wouldn't have been able to get, and I don't have time to track, it moved to a burner that's not right at the front of my priorities, even though I still think it's worrisome legislation. So,
and I would tell you, one of the points I want to make as well is, legislation is only one way, right, to influence policy. The other, which I would say in the federal level is even more important, is regulation. So the policies that, rulemaking, whether it's EPA or, National Park Service or, many other agencies, those rules that they, put out or come down or can state sometimes have an even broader impact, especially when you consider, Kirsten has been in Congress for 6 months. Her committee, she's on financial services, but still, her committee has only heard 7 bills.
I think we ought to have one chew ones back on the. Obviously, somebody's going to sue about that 7,000 unit development.
Okay, tribute on the Upper San Pedro. And so in that case, there is a lawsuit going on now. And the good thing about the lawsuit is the U.S. Bureau of Land Management is a party. And that's the federal government, and they have a lot of money for lawyers. But there is an opportunity. It's good.
And we could do public advocacy. I mean, there's no reason why we couldn't thank the Republic for their editorial today, or those
And
kinds of
that's
things.
perfect, so we'll ask you in a few minutes to commit, and I've done it a few times, it's quite easy to go on the website and write your 1,000-character paragraph, it's very, very easy, so that's. Management's opening up the comment period for the resource management plan for the Upper San Pedro. There's a big opportunity for all of us, and we don't need just people in Arizona, we need people nationally to convey to the Bureau of Land Management the importance.
They all meetings, right? You have to
Yes.
be there personally.
No, they actually recognize the need for more public opportunity, and so they released a whole schedule of dates and meetings at other locations.
And
So they have one, let's see, Benson, Tucson, Sierra Vista,